do some news.
All right, so you've talked about this before, but there's an update. Sean Diddy Combs has returned his key to New York City after a request from Mayor Eric Adams in response to the release of a video showing him attacking R&B singer Cassie. The mayor's office said...
Wouldn't it be funny? What if people just had a crazy sense of humor, like politicians? And Trump's there a little bit, but like really
people with power,
fucked up and dark. Like if Mayor Adams was like, look, I got the key back and just in time because R. Kelly's going to get paroled and I need something to hand that boy. And everyone would just go, what the fuck are you talking about? And then you go, it's a joke. I'm making a joke, you know?
Yeah. There's no humor. There's no comedy in politics, is there? You got to be
weird and serious. And oh, I mean, there's inadvertent comedy.
Yeah. But someone always tries to take him down with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got to kill.
So he sent the key back.
Right. He returned the key after Adams sent letters to his offices in New York and California, rescinding the key and asking for it to be sent back to City Hall, and they got the key last week. So,
do they keep a track of all the keys?
I know. I didn't know that there must be a master list of some sort.
There was video. The problem is this guy... P. Diddy did his thing. You know, the film came out of the hotel room and all that stuff. So then the next film is him driving through the streets of Manhattan with the key, yelling, God bless America, and thanks Eric Adams, and all that kind of stuff. So now Eric Adams is poised to do something because the first videotape was him beating on a woman. The next videotape's him going up and down streets of Manhattan holding the key, and I'm the guy who gave him the key, so now I have to have a press conference saying I need the key back.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I would argue you don't really need to do.
Change the lock.
Change the lock.
It's cheaper than changing all the locks.
Yeah.
How many locks does this thing open?
It's skeletons, and it's about 2 foot long. So
it's like one of those big toy keys?
It's not an actual functional, like smaller,
okay.
You know, like you get made at Home Depot kind of key.
Okay.
It's a big, it would only open a church.
Is it made of something valuable? Like is it gold? Or
I think there's chocolate inside. I'm pretty sure. I tried to bite one once.
You've seen one?
Oh, well, I saw the footage of P. Diddy with the key, you know. So the key's back.
Yeah.
If somebody said to me, the key's I want my key back.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, I'll send my assistant to the trunk of my car because that shit never made it into the house. You know what I mean? That's like one of those, you know, you're fucking doing a show and some guy's like, I made you a T-shirt. And you're like, oh, awesome. You know, you always take it,
you never
right?
Wear it, though.
It ends up in the trunk. You know, it gets into the car at some point. It just never makes it out of the trunk.
Yeah, you clean your wheels with it, maybe.
On
a show night.
If Diddy was smart, he'd go to the Home Depot and get a couple copies made.
He should get some copies made. That's right. That's right.
Keep some copies there. There was a graduation in L.A. last week.
I saw this.
Resulted in a brawl. I heard it's because they were all vaping and they were having crazy mood swings.
Brain poison.
Yeah, but you can see. So here's a video of this graduation. It's called the Operation Graduation Ceremony at Walt Disney Concert Hall, which included over 100 high school graduates, including 29 detained youth on probation.
Oh, what could go wrong?
Well, here's the thing. So we'll play the brawl in just a second, but the detained youth were already walked and then they were put back into like the protected area. So this is just the regular kids, but here's some of the brawl in an interview with somebody watching too.
A wild brawl breaks out inside Disney Concert Hall Thursday
I'm getting back to my gum proclamation. We
kids from an alternative education school and probation.
Alternative education.
We're coming out of the ceremonies and there was a car right on the other side of the cars that were parked, and we just saw shooting, and then saw the smoke and everything, and everybody just got down on the ground.
2 people were taken into custody in the parking lot.
It was wild.
2 people?
It's like we're here for a happy moment, and it's just ruined with gang activity.
We're no longer can chew gum. We can't have graduations. Like we're animals at this point.
We're monkeys.
Yeah. Well, these students.
Any rich people in this group? Nope.
That didn't.
Just horrible poor people once again ruining everything.
And I'm surprised they're able to move so fast with all the gum on the floor.
I know.
The students stem from both the LA County Office of Education's juvenile court schools and the county's community schools.
Ugh.
So
LA's officially ruined.
Yeah.
It's just gone. It's just done.
Unfortunate
Put a
graduation
fork in
incident.
it. We're done, people. Maybe, I've lived there my whole life, and they were always like, one day there's going to be a big enough earthquake where we're just going to break off
Fall
and
off.
go into the sea. And I used to go, that would be worrisome. Now I'm kind of going, all right, I'm listening. And then we get a fresh start,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right at the fault line.
I see the post-apocalyptic island being this horrible place too. The island that fell off, that is LA, is now it's far from land.
Oh, yeah, I never examined the island part of it.
That it's so.
I just thought Bakersfield would become Malibu.
Right, but what happens to Bakersfield towards Malibu?
We all perish.
It just goes underwater.
The only thing that survives is that gum on the sidewalk. I cling to a piece of sidewalk covered with gum for my life
Oh my God!
while G-Wagons float by.
So there's this new phenomenon on TikTok called time blindness. Well, it's getting coverage on TikTok, but it's supposedly, according to a few doctors, it's a real thing. If you're constantly missing deadlines, maybe picking up your
Excuses.
child up from school later,
okay.
or doing something else while you run a bath only to find it
Is this
overflowing,
sort of like sickle cell, but
being late all the time.
is it different, but kind of like sickle cell?
Sim-
that it
yeah, it's
affects
like-
certain groups?
No.
Well, it doesn't affect the Jews, right? Well, look, there's certain diseases
Right,
that affect certain groups.
Yeah, I have.
Like Ashkenazi Jews get this, and black people get sickle cell. Like
Yeah.
it can affect,
My
right?
people, I get sweaty feet.
Sweaty feet.
It's part of my people,
Yeah.
my family.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The certain groups have certain things.
Right.
So
Well,
maybe this.
Some of
Here's a
us.
video. Here's a viral video on TikTok that that is from a certain white girl. Yeah, so it's
Oh,
surprising.
she's
Yeah.
faking it.
What's the
fake.
disease called again?
Time blindness.
All right,
It's if you occasionally lose track of time, don't necessarily have a good grasp of.
You're just late
blindness.
everywhere.
Yeah, possibly. But here's her
Yeah.
complaining about an interview she had.
So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. Provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled.
Is she in the bathroom?
Unclear, but so there are a lot of people online saying that time blindness is not a thing, and
Well, here's the thing. Everyone who is really bad at life would like a syndrome attached to it.
Sure, an
You know what I
excuse.
mean? Yeah, we went through this with like Epstein-Barr virus and chronic fatigue.
Yeah.
These are just depressed people that are super lazy
Diabetes.
and unmotivated. And so
Yeah.
it's always good to ascribe a disease to your sort of state, which is if it's negative. There's the negative
Yeah.
state gets something. And so then once we started putting everyone on the spectrum
Yeah.
and we opened everyone has Asperger's, like everybody who I close my eyes when I'm trying to concentrate. I'm trying to listen to something. I close my eyes, But it's you have Asperger's. It's like, no, I just concentrate better. Well, then you're on the spectrum. You know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
all right, everyone's on the spectrum of something. This is inconsiderate people
Yeah.
who are unorganized and late
Yeah.
and choose to then say they suffer from something that doesn't exist. Here's the experiment. Are you ready?
Go.
Is everyone ready for the experiment?
Okay.
I spoke about Gene Wilder and his dementia.
Yeah.
If I said to Gene Wilder when he was in the throes of dementia, when he was like 82 and a half years old, Gene, if you can get your shit together for 1 week, like Don't misspeak. Remember people's names. Have a good recall. I'll give you $100,000 cash. He'd go. He would forget the conversation that we had 30 seconds earlier about giving him $100,000. If I said to this bitch, don't be late for 1 week, boom, syndrome out the window.
Yeah,
I'll give you $5,000.
She'd stop doing drugs.
I'll give you $5,000 cash if you cannot be late for the month of July.
Right.
You get a job at the end of July. I will give you $5,000 cash, bitch. Guess who wouldn't be late? So let me explain how syndromes go, whether it's shingles or dementia.
Yeah.
Someone can't offer you a cash reward and it immediately goes away. She would immediately be cured. And so would everybody who suffers from their time-lapse illness. All they have to do is give them $10,000 and it would go away, which then means you could do it if you want it.
Yep.
So fuck right off.
Yeah, I really doubt any rich people have that disease.
No, they don't. This is poor people. Right. She's a gum spitter.
Yeah.
She's knuckle dragging gum spitters show up and ruin our society. They duke it out at the Disney concert hall. Do you think any of those probation graduates had ever been in the Disney concert hall? Like, I saw a whole retrospective on Tchaikovsky earlier in the month there. I'm season ticket. I saw Man of La Mancha here.
I'm a member.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to Ted. He works behind the bar. He's a good guy.
They were jumping off of
They're animals.
the balcony.
Yeah.
First off, look, have the graduation cage. Have it in a cage. Don't have it don't have it where the nice people go. You can't handle it. They freak out in a nice area. Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Jumped right
Steel
off the
cage.
rafters.
All right. All right. I guess is in the waiting room.
Yeah.
All right.
right.
Let's do that. Are you going to hang around, or we swapping out?
I could use a restroom break.
Oh, use a restroom break.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Let me tell people. Oh, well, no. Well, where are we going to do this? I'll just talk to Batya, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you're excused. Let me spell it out. Lachlan Patterson.com is where you go.
Thank you. Yes.
For all the live dates.
Lachlan.
And Dark White on YouTube.
On YouTube.
Is a special.
Books on the website.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also listen to the whole thing on Spotify and Apple and all that.